So she said to talk to Cecil about the thing, the symbol of hatred. So let's go talk to him again. I'm trying to put off as much of her talking to her as possible because I don't want to advance the storyline more than necessary. I missed my turn.
Cecil, do you know anyone who fought in the war 3 years ago?
I did.
Did you fight here at Vergen?
Course.
Philippa claims you know a bit about the battle.
That old cook Henselt, called king by some, thought that Adernians were bumpkins who'd ship bricks as soon as his troops crossed the river.
Why did he attack Edern?
According to Henselt, Upper Edern is the ancient legacy of the Kedwenny crown and must be returned to the mother country. Brazen farter.
That brazen farter had a point. If you read some history, you'll know that 300 years ago this land belonged to Kedwen.
Load of crab. 700 years ago the elves reigned here, and 1,000,000 years ago these lands were the domain of the worms. If things worked that way, every king could invade a neighboring land and claim his right to do so because an ancestor took a dump there.
All right. Henselt wanted to conquer Upper Edern. What then?
He rolled in, got hammered, and rolled out.
Cecil, that doesn't help me much.
It wasn't a battle. It was a slaughter. If I try speaking of it, I'll see it all again. I don't want...
The ghosts of the fallen fight in the mist. They turn into horrible creatures called Draugrs. Adernians, Kedwenny, men, elves, and dwarves too.
Bloody hell. No peace even after death.
I want to help them, but I need to know more about the battle.
Very well. Listen. A beautiful day that grew hot later. Very hot. When Van de Grift attacked in the afternoon, he sent a dun banner at the fore. Many of our lads shit themselves at the mere sight of their standard, but we had a surprise of our own. Under the cover of night, we prepared fire pits. Our archers lit them up at the right moment. I still can't believe we managed to fool their scouts. If it wasn't for that ambush, we wouldn't be speaking today. They likely wouldn't be in Upper Edern at all. We decimated the dun banner, but that was only the beginning. Seltkirk was our commander. Everywhere he appeared, the Kedwennies gave ground. He wreaked havoc among them. Hearts rose at the mere sight of his armor. Then Van de Grift himself entered the fray. Seltkirk met him in the middle of the field. In the end, Van de Grift killed Seltkirk. A terrible death that sent the Adernian ranks into disarray. I thought it was the end of us. Then the sky fell, as if the stars themselves had decided to avenge the death of a great knight. Fire covered the battlefield. Nobody sought the enemy. They were all looking for somewhere to flee. Yes, there were no more friends and enemies, only the living and the dead. They say it was the doing of a Kedwenny sorceress who wanted revenge on Van de Grift. Could be true, as Henselt had her executed right after the battle.
I got the Dun banner. I'm gonna ask him about it anyway.
You captured the Dun banner standard?
Henselt's choice troops, and not a one survived. The visitors sent them to their deaths, refused to give them reinforcements. He was a monster in human form. The men of the Dun were real swaggerers. Killed a lot of our lads, but for every Dunner, there were 7 Adernians. They had no chance. Aye, we captured their standard. We buried what was left of them in the crypts beyond Vergen. Their standard lies with them. Worthy foes are to be respected, even in death.
I'm going to need that standard.
I already got it.
Did you see the duel between Seltkirk and Van de Grift?
I stood half a furlong from them. Never seen a fight like it. Probably never will again. They'd already met once, at a jousting tournament in Ardcarreg. Seltkirk won there. He beat on the visitor so hard he broke his sword. Seltkirk was a true knight, the last of his breed. Van de Grift was so pissed off after that tournament he hanged the smith who made his sword and ordered a special one from a sorcerer. I bet he cut down Seltkirk with that new sword.
Van de Grift is dead. What happened to his sword?
Saskia's got it. Good thing too. Only her hand can tame the hatred enchanted in that sword. After the battle, when the flames abated, the scavengers came. They stole everything. Imagine, not a single keepsake of Seltkirk in the whole of Edern. His brother babbles something about a gauntlet, but he's a lying dog.
Remember anything from before the battle?
As if it was yesterday. Henselt's troops crossed the Pontard the third day after the autumn equinox. Eddon had good spies, so we were ready for them, and Selkirk lined up our troops along the hills. Our hearts rose at the sight of the banners of Vengerberg, Aldersberg and Gullet fluttering in the wind. Knights and armoured infantry side by side in our ranks. Even the peasants had their regiments. The dwarves were on the left flank. Over 5,000 strong we were. Nobody caring about race or background, like never before. Only King Demavend was missing, but he must have had more important business than defending his country.
You saw the Kidwennies cross the river?
From afar. I saw Vandegrift leading 4,000 heavily armed men. Many a heart sank when we saw the elite bearheads or the armoured banners from Ardcarrig. The Dun banner was in the middle, veterans of Brenna. As soon as he set foot on Adernian land, Vandegrift climbed a hill and surveyed the area, as if it was his fief. Son of a bitch was as sure of himself as ever. Upon spying him, I remember the dwarves all dropped their trousers and showed him their asses. Then Selkirk stepped out in front of us. His white armour shone in the sun. We were afraid a Kidwenny arbalist would shoot him, but they too stood as if frozen, and Selkirk just looked at them and bowed ever so slightly.
All right.
Thanks, Cecil, that was helpful. I think I know what I need to lift the curse now.
Madame Eilhard claims you need 4 symbols. The standard symbolizes death. Vandegrift's sword stands for hatred. What about the other 2?
I have a feeling Philippa has a handle on the rest.
Here's hoping you're right.
Okay. So, sounds like the Dragon Slayer there has has the sword. So maybe I can get in and see her. I don't know. Let's see. The alderman told Geralt that the symbol of hatred could only be the sword of the infamous Vandergrift, bearing the dreaded but fitting name of hatred. Unfortunately, the blade belonged to Saskia the Dragon Slayer, who had been poisoned and lay dying. Though the Witcher had stolen from the dead or dying in the past, in this instance he decided to stay his hand. Okay, so wait for events to unfold. Alright, so let's see. View the dreams from the cave in the projector. What does this mean? Oh, I can put those crystals inside that thing. That's what I'm going to do. I didn't realize that. That would be very interesting, because maybe I'll find some secrets or something. I totally went the wrong way. Let's go do that, and then we'll get back to regular missions. Okay, I'm back here at this thing to try to put crystals in here and see if I can see dreams. Alright. I saw Lethos already, so let's do all of them. Silver first.
By the gods, they're closer and closer. They'll not catch me. To the workshop. They'll not find it there, over my dead body, horses. You'll never fathom Master Baltimore.
Master Baltimore, I heard a story about him. Ooh, he didn't make it. Baltimore's dream. Okay, so let's do the green one now. Baltimore headed to the workshop, so I'm gonna have to figure out where that is. Green crystal.
You're as beautiful as an elf, my lady. Come to me, my hero. Let's fuck in the barn.
Ah, the luck. To think I wanted to play dice with the others.
Call them too.
Oh,
It'll
it's,
be lovely.
It's, what's her face? Dragon Slayer. Oh, it's a peasant's dream, I see. He's dreaming about sleeping with the Dragon Slayer. That looks like, hey, it's us. It's the dragon. That's from the prologue. Last one's a blue crystal, or at least the last one I have. This Yorvith.
Eseth Mahon, tal este impedon, eloranet eleorien, feredein Mahon, hel daumas.
New quest phase, hunting magic. So let's see what this means. Oh, I got a level too, good. So, Baltimore's Nightmare. So it looks like he's the only one that I had any sort of mission because of this. Although I could speak to Yorvith and maybe see if anything becomes of that. Although it seemed like an innocent enough dream. So, okay, so Baltimore's Nightmare. Geralt witnessed various wonders in the Harpy's Nest. Among others, he saw the dream of Baltimore, a dwarf who had once lived in Vergen. Baltimore was now dead, his dream, in which he was running in terror, having become a reality. Before the Witcher would discover that, however, he would have to find the dwarf's house. Alright, so let's go look for it.